Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about clickbait. Now, clickbait is something that we've all known about for quite a while. I think the term probably first majorly started in sort of maybe the early 2010s when you would get, Ray William Johnson putting like a big pair of breasts on a thumbnail, a big rainbow background and, big all caps going, "She did what?" or whatever, or "Oh, her clunge is massive," or whatever, that kind of thing. And, you would click it thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get to see some nice tits here." And then you would click it and it's Ray William Johnson fucking spouting off, doing basically "You've been framed," right? And you would probably watch it and you go, "Oh, no," right? And that's clickbait, essentially. That's the clickbait in its most primitive form. And at the time, YouTube paid its creators based off of views. So the more views you got, the more money you got, right? Because the way they saw it was the more videos you click on, the more adverts you see, and the more adverts you see, the more money that YouTube makes in general, so they can profit off it, right? But at a certain point, I think probably in response to the amount of clickbait that was going on, YouTube changed its policy to be less about views, and now views aren't the important thing. Now what's the important thing is watch time. So say there's two videos, one gets 1,000 views and one gets 10,000 views. But the video that got 10,000 views, right, people only watched it for a minute. But that video that got 1,000 views, say people watched it for 10 minutes. Well, the video that got 1,000 views is going to get paid, the person is going to get paid more than the person who got 10,000 views, because they got more watch time. Well, I think they might have just got the exact same amount of watch time. So they would have gotten paid the same, even though one person got paid, even though one person got 10 times less views than the other, because views are no longer the key relevant thing here. And that changed how people did clickbait. Clickbait still exists, but now it's less about tricking someone into watching something that's completely irrelevant, right? Or tricking someone into wanting to watch a pair of tits, and now it's just Ray William Johnson. It became more about editorializing a story and making something about. I'll give you some examples. Watch. Here's some good examples. I'm just going to go on the YouTube homepage and we're gonna scan through, and you might even recognize some of these. So the first one is how AI is ruining education for everyone, right? How AI is ruining education for everyone. Well, this is a 25-minute video essay, right? Which it has kids don't have basic skills or knowledge on one side, and UCLA graduate celebrities celebrates by showing off ChatGPT prompt he used on final projects. And then there's a bloke in the middle who I presume is the guy that's going to be doing the video essay. And there's some woman on the side, some young girl who's clearly meant to be some like AI indoctrinated knobhead. And then there's like a student who's like this, with a laptop, with OpenAI on the laptop, right? I don't know if you can see it. It's there, right? So that's the thumbnail, right? It's pretty basic, right? But he's obviously got some thesis on what AI is doing to ruin education, right? I presume it's going to be that students are over-reliant on ChatGPT. That's probably his thesis there, right? But he couldn't just say that. He couldn't just say students are now really over-reliant on ChatGPT and it's causing some problems, because that's too much, and two, it kind of gives away the reveal. There's going to be some reveal in the video, right, which is the new clickbait. I want to know what that reveal is, so I'm going to watch the video. Instead of it being, I want to see a pair of tits and this video doesn't have a pair of tits in it, it's now, I want to see what this guy's intrigued me about, right? That's exactly what's going on. And I do it as well, right? I do clickbait all the fucking time, right? And I don't regret it. I'm not ashamed of it necessarily. It's just the name of the game. It's essentially advertising, and it's to try and get people to engage with a certain thing over another thing, because at the end of the day, we need to be told what to consume, because we're dumb fucking apes, essentially, is the be all and end all of it, really. Clickbait works. If it didn't work, then people wouldn't be doing it, would they? Right? So I am sorry that I do clickbait and that all your favorite YouTubers do clickbait, but it works, right? There's a channel that I like called Kurzgesagt, or however the fuck you pronounce it, right? Popular YouTube channel, right? They did one called South Korea is finished, and it had a picture of the South Korean flag and it was melting, right? And I clicked on that video there's other videos that they put out that I don't click on, right? Because it was a little bit different for them, right? So that's a sort of form of clickbait. It's like, it must be urgent if they've gone for a different style. It must be interesting. It's different, isn't it? Right? So because it's been a little bit different, I ended up clicking on it, and it's the exact same video that they always do, right? It's the same animation style, the same narrator, the same general set of topics, right? Same sort of thing. It was about how South Korea had some kind of demographic problem because they're not having enough kids, right? They could, and say if they just said South Korea aren't having enough kids, right? Even then, that would still be clickbait, wouldn't it? Right? But that would be slightly more accurate, but it would still be clickbait because why aren't they having more kids? Say, oh, South Korea aren't having more kids because of the socio-economic implications of having children in the 21st century due to these certain economic and social factors that are caused by various things, including various companies and the government, right? Doesn't really work as a title, does it? It's a bit of a mouthful. And even then, it still doesn't tell you the full story. It's the same way I see a headline, right? And then I'll go on the comments and people will be like, oh, that headline's such clickbait. And I'll kind of like, all right, you come up with a better title. You come up with a better headline. What headline do you think it should be, right? Like I saw one that was something about, what was it? This one recently, and it did annoy me, this one. It was Islamophobia, new Islamophobia law that Labour has put forward could give Reform a 100-point majority, right? And it annoyed me because, one, I clicked on the article, right? So they've got me. And two, I read the fucking article and they didn't tell me what the Islamophobia law was. They said they were going to redefine, they said they were going to give a definition to Islamophobia, but they didn't tell me what Islamophobia, the definition was going to be. They didn't tell me what the definition of Islamophobia was going to be. So what was the point of the article? There wasn't a point. The whole point is to say, Angela Rayner or fucking whoever said that they're going to do some definition of Islamophobia, but they didn't define it, right? So there's no definition, there's no new law. It's not really a new law, is it? It's a new definition. Maybe if you want to be like pedantic about it, maybe you could say that's the same thing, I guess, if you really wanted to for your article, but tell me what the fucking definition is. Tell me what the definition is that they want to put across that's going to give Reform this 100-point fucking lead if it's such a big deal. Why can't you tell me that? Obviously, you can't put all of that in the description, in the title. What, like, I don't know, Angela Rayner says that they're going to define Islamophobia to mean people that are being knobheads to Muslim people, right? Say if that, and there'll probably be a really long definition with loads of different points, and in this case it is Islamophobia, in this case it isn't, in this case it is, and you can't put all of that in the title, but put as much of the information as you can in the title, or use the information that's in the video to attract people, right? That's what I try and do. I don't always do it. Sometimes I can't be asked, is the truth of the fucking matter. I was about to say sometimes it's better to do it in some ways like this, but the truth is sometimes you can't be asked, right? Sometimes you're lazy with it, right? And sometimes these editorial fucking headlines are lazy. Whoever wrote that article couldn't be bothered to think of a more interesting headline that involved the definition of Islamophobia, right? Maybe the definition isn't out yet. Maybe they haven't released a public statement saying, here is a planned, proposed definition of Islamophobia. Maybe Angela Rayner just said offhand in an interview, oh, we're planning on probably giving a definition to Islamophobia at some point. And that's all, right? But saying Angela Rayner said that they're planning on doing a definition for Islamophobia at some point in some interview that she did isn't really much of a headline. No one's going to click that, right? But people probably would have clicked on Angela Rayner proposes a potential Islamophobia law, but she hasn't said anything about it yet. Because then it's like, oh, she's gonna say something about it at a certain point. I need to keep in the loop because when she brings it out, it's gonna be terrible, And that's what they could have done, but they didn't do that. So I don't know. That was just one example among many. And you see clickbait all over the place, not just on YouTube or TikTok or in the news, but it's essentially just a form of advertising. It's a new buzzword for customer manipulation, essentially. That's all it is, right? It's just, we're manipulating you. I'm manipulating you with this video. You click this video that's called Clickbait brackets unfortunately works, right? So you know that clickbait works. You know that that's a clickbait title. You clicked it, right? So you're the idiot here, right? And I'm the manipulator, right? Just the same way that I'm the idiot for watching that Kurzgesagt video, right? About how South Korea is fucking doomed and all that sort of stuff. And then it turned out to be a video about demographic issues within South Korea. And obviously that leads to serious precedent for horror upon the South Korean people in the long term because of those demographic issues, because they're going to end up with a big majority of old people and they're going to need to look after all the old people and no one's going to be around to do the fucking work, right? So that's a bad thing. But at the end of the day, it's not like South Korea, the country, is melting, which is what the video thumbnail and the title will lead you to presume. It's not like South Korea is gonna fucking sink into the core of the fucking planet, right? It's just that there's gonna be a huge issue with the population, right? But that level of nuance doesn't work in a basic clickbait fucking title, right? And you know, the whole thesis of this video wouldn't have worked in the 3 words that I used, right? It just wouldn't have. And that's the simple be all and end all of it, right? Clickbait, unfortunately, works. And it works because 1, it's easy, and 2, what's the alternative, right? C-SPAN, I suppose, is the alternative. You know, just like the driest, most boring fucking shit ever. But, you know, no one would be interested in it because it'd be boring, right? This is why, like, say, the US debates now, people tune into them so that they can see Donald Trump and Kamala Harris going, oh, Kamala, you're a communist, you're evil, you're a knobhead. And then Kamala's going, oh, you're Donald Trump, you're evil, you're a knobhead, right? They're both doing it. Whereas in the past, they used to sit there and go, oh, I disagree with your policy on this various sort of thing, blah, 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 blah. No one gives a shit about policy. No one gives a shit about the details, right? That's for experts so they don't care about to figure out, right? What they want to see is fucking action. It's like wrestling, right? They want to see the fucking punches. They don't want to see John Cena sat on a fucking sofa flicking through telly, right? That's not what they signed up for. They want to see the action. People want to see fucking action. They want to be manipulated. That's why we manipulate them, right? And I'd say me, I mean all of the media, right? That's what people do, right? They manipulate people, and then people are happy to be manipulated and go along with it. Same way that I watch loads of videos that have clickbait titles, right? What am I gonna do, go on strike and never watch a clickbait title again? Should we do that? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Let's start a movement of anti-clickbait people. We'll never watch a video of clickbait again. Actually don't, because then you won't watch my videos anymore. Actually, fuck it, set the movement up, but you know, say that I started it. We'll call it, I don't know, Clickgate. Or maybe Baitgate. Clickbaitgate, yeah, let's do Clickbaitgate. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you managed to get something out of this video. What are your thoughts on clickbait? Do you think that I do clickbait? Has there been a time when you've been manipulated by clickbait? Particularly if it's one of my videos, I'd like to know so that I can do it again, so I can get views and stuff. See, that's the difference between me and a lot of other YouTube sort of channels, is that I'll just flat out say that I'm doing it, right? I'm manipulating you, I'm clickbaiting stuff because I want to get more views, because if I get more views, then I get more money, and if I get more money, then I can save up so I can get a mortgage, so that I can get a house and live with my girlfriend, who I'd like to marry at a certain point, and you know, get some kids, you know, and kids take money to run, you know, run like they were a fucking factory or something. You know, it takes money to raise children, right? And I need to get that money, and the way I'm going to get that money is if I make money, and the way I make money is by doing clickbait, essentially, and also like my real work. But yeah, that's it from me. Let me know your thoughts on clickbait in general, and thank you very much for watching this video, everybody. I love you all, even though I just said that I'm manipulating you. But you know what? I love you all. You're all fantastic, and we all get such a good discussion going on in the comments in every single video, and I'm so thankful for that every day. And I hope, you know, when I do say this stuff, I'm not saying it to like speak down to you, because I do the same shit, right? I'm just as bad as everyone else, right? It's not unique to me. Every single YouTube channel does it. In fact, a lot of YouTube channels are much worse than me about it, because 1, they won't tell you about it. They'll lie to you and say they're not doing it. And 2, they might just be one of those that's like Dude Perfect or something. It's like, bottle flip challenge! Like that, you know, and it's just ridiculous. Like marketing to fucking young children, I think that's fucking disgusting. Maybe that'll be another video for another day, but I can't be asked to that one. It's just miserable, isn't it? Manipulating children.